Hey friends, folks, how's it going? Family, how y'all doing? Just got off of work. An excruciatingly busy day. Um, how to do posts about my work. It would be interesting, believe me, it would be. But what I want to do is post a, 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 a thank you and kind of talk a little bit about the records that Jonas from Sweden, Sublimmedia, sent me recently. Once again, Jonas, thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing about your trip to New York. I hope that you had a great time there. Um, Jonas has gathered through my videos that I vibe with Europe a lot. The music there, the people. Sweden, I have a lot of Swedish prog, as it turns out. I've always been collecting music from Europe, but for the longest I really didn't know the difference between Sweden, Denmark, and Holland, And as it turns out, a fair amount of what I've been attracted to in prog music comes from Sweden. But he wrote me and said, well, let me send you some music of Sweden because, you buying this prog is one thing, but you're not really knowing about the music of Sweden. And I really appreciate this. So he sent me some records, and I've given everything a cursory listen so I can tell you my first impressions, okay? I haven't listened to, he sent me 2 CDs. I haven't listened to them yet, but here we go. They're not in any particular order of what I like and don't like, so I'll just talk about them. So the first album in the stack here is Benny Andersson. Klinga mine klokker? The cloak? Close. Benny Andersson, he's one of the A's from ABBA. Maybe he's the main guy from ABBA. And I really like this. It sounds classical, almost, but I understand this is folk music. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful and orchestrated. It sounds like light classical music, but not light. It's what I mean by that is it's lyrical. Really strong melodies, really, really memorable melodies here. Haven't listened to it all the way through yet, so I can't even say that I noticed any accordion playing. He's holding one here, so it's obviously on the album, but that's not the thing that stands out from my first listen to it. My first impression of it is that this is nice. Yeah, I like this. Okay, he sent me the Mickey Mouse String Band. I think the name of the album is Axelrod. And this is traditional bluegrass kind of country music. And if you don't look closely at the cover, you could mistakenly think that maybe this is a rock band or something. But no, this is straight traditional swinging bluegrass. And these guys play it well. This sounds like it's from a live date. But again, as he told me, don't get excited. Really nothing great here. Just examples. So again, even though it's from Sweden, these melodies, I think that quite a bit of American folk music comes from the original country. So maybe I'm hearing folk songs in their original form. Some of them sound very familiar to me. This one was of interest to me. Very disappointing as far as what you hear, but glad to have this because of the trivia behind it. This is Jan Carlsson, Carlsson, strictly commercial, and this is commercial. This is dreadful. Thanks, Jonas, for sharing it with me. But what's important about this for me is that, I love Bo Hansson. He was the Swede who played with Jimi Hendrix when Jimi Hendrix was in Europe for a while, and he has that fantastic version of Lord of the Rings. Just incredibly. One of my favorite top 10. That definitely is in the top 10. If I had to make a 10 list of my top albums, which would be very difficult, Bo Hansson would be in there. This was Bo Hansson's partner back in the day. I think in either the late 60s or early 70s, they had a duo. And there's actually a YouTube video of these two in the early days playing together. And my initial impression of this is that I cannot listen to this. This is just, it's like, I love, what I do like is that it is actually, it's actually a Swedish import. It's a label that I don't have. I've said many times I love labels. It was my first record on Polar. I wonder if this is kind of a populist type of label in Sweden, where just a lot of really, really commercial music comes out. Now, what I want to say is that probably somebody really likes this music. I just find it really unoriginal and just that typical. It just sounds so typical. It's like there's no reason to listen to it, to me. Now, this next one was a surprise. Jonas described this as being an album of the type of music that his parents listened to, and I can see how that is probably the case. However, I really like this. Lil Linfers. Dwardenende? I can't speak the words. I wish I could. I've only listened to a couple songs on this. I like it right away. I really like it. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a slightly more mainstream approach to this music, like Scott Walker. To me, Scott Walker's music could have been mainstream, hugely popular, except the topics of his songs were a little too real, I think. Some of the arrangements were a little too sophisticated. Some of this is just bordering on that. You know what I'm saying? It has a nice ambience to it, and particularly the first song starts off great. It's the title track, Duardenende, and I like her voice. So this was a pleasant surprise. I like this album. Thank you, Sublimmedia. Pleasant surprise. Not that I'm going to start collecting her, but this is what I'll come back to listen to see if there's more songs that I really like on it. Next, we have up a band. I think they're called Grusidagen? Dawn? Hagspel? Hoch? Wish I knew those accents. Once again, like that other band, the Moose String Band, you look at this and it looks like they could be a rock band. It's not. This is again more what I'm assuming is traditional Swedish country or bluegrass music. Very well played, very traditional sounding melodies that we've heard a million times. Of interest to me is on the Sonnet label. There's a lot of stuff over the years on Sonnet. I'm assuming or kind of figuring that Sonnet must be kind of one of the mainstream labels of Sweden. A lot of artists are on the label, like Columbia and RCA and MCA over here in US. I'm thinking Sonnet is one of the big, long-running labels, like Polydor over in Europe. So thank you for sharing this with me. This is not something I'll be listening to except maybe with other people. The last two I like. This one I like a lot. This one I like probably the most, second to the Lil Linfers. And it is the Jano Haunted. It's Jano Haunted with George Riesdell. Jazz from Sweden. Is that what that means? Jazz på svenska? And this is beautiful. It's piano and bass. First track, as you had mentioned, is an old favorite of yours. It's beautiful. And I like the feel of this whole recording and the approach to the songs. Nothing show-offy. Really comfortable is how I would describe their approach to the tracks. Once again, I like showing this because these are record labels that, for the most part, I probably would not have ever seen otherwise. That reason alone, I appreciate this gift from Jonas greatly. I'm very much interested in cultures of all over the world and the records and the labels. So, Jazz på svenska. Very happy to add this to my jazz collection. The last album that he sent me, I showed a bit in the thank you. It's Oasis by Rasa. And this is kind of like some folks that got turned on to Eastern religion and they're kind of wannabe, kind of a wannabe spiritual band. I say that because it ain't quite there. There's tinges of Eastern in the arrangements of the music, and it has a spiritual focus in the words, etc. And it's okay. Probably the best thing about this album is the cover. I'm very happy, though, to add this to my collection. This is the sort of obscure, interesting sort of thing that I'm always looking for, and depending on the price, will quickly take a chance on. So this was a pleasant. And look at that cool label, Lotus Eye. That's a nice label in my opinion. I like that with the eye. Very nice. So I can't say enough. Thank you. And I want to extend that thank you to the entire vinyl community, because indeed this is really a big part of what this is about: sharing, caring, loving music, and spreading the goodness of it. He also sent me 2 singles. I'll show those and talk about those right quick. The first one is a band called Gillen. I don't know how to say this. On Parlophone. This is pop from the 80s. And once again, this is just okay. This is, I mean, again, they're good musicians. The guy has an interesting voice. But it's like it's really nondescript music. But I appreciate having it. The other single, though, I do like this. This is, how do you say this? Rickford, Michael Rickfors is the artist. And it's Rickfors. Oh, okay. It's Rickfors. He's huge. Matter of fact, this cat, Michael Rickfors, was the lead singer of the Hollies for a while. If you have the album by the Hollies, Romney, which I don't, he's the lead singer on that. Interesting. This guy has a good voice. And this is pretty good. Now, this is not the sort of thing that I would be buying outright, but when I hear pop music that's pretty decent, you know, I can appreciate it, you know. And this is good. It's well arranged. I like his voice. He's got a great voice. But the arrangements, both songs, good arrangements. Keep you listening. Keep you listening. Don't know what the songs are about. And as I've said before, I like that. I get to pretend what it's about. Thank you again, Jonas. The last things he sent were these 2 CDs, which I haven't listened to yet. The first one is Eagle Eye Cherry. This is another one of Don Cherry's kids, the jazz musician who moved to Europe a long time ago. Apparently, Eagle Eye lives in Sweden, or is Swedish, was born there, I suppose. I haven't played this yet, but I've heard he had some MTV music happening here in America. And I also remember him as a presenter of the music program The World. Do I have the no, that's not the name of it. I can't remember the name of it, but it used to be on Bravo. I haven't played this yet, so looking forward to this. And another artist he sent was Kent. Don't know what this is about yet. He described it, but I forget what he said. So once again, Sublimmedia, I so appreciate you. You didn't put your address on this, so I can't surprise you with some sort of return package. I don't even know what I would send you at this point. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, folks. I don't know if I'll be posting any more videos tonight. I have an update I'd like to do, and I'd like to close out my Genesis by showing my CDs. We'll see if I get to that tonight, folks. Have a good one.